Okay, good morning. And this is Don, the short sale guy, and I want to talk to you briefly about the announcement that just happened a day or so ago by the federal government, which stated that they are going to extend the foreclosure moratorium for federally backed loans until at least June 30th of this year. And what does that mean for investors like us, especially those of us who are in short sales or specialize in short sales or do short sales as part of our portfolio? For me, since I am probably 90% a foreclosure slash um, um, short sale investor, I can tell you that this is not welcome news for me because Fannie and Freddie and government loans basically are 80% of the mortgage market. So that's 80% of foreclosures that we're not going to get for another 3 months. Let's see, March, April, May, June, 4 months. So what does that mean? Well, it means for us basically is that we've been averaging 10, anywhere between 9 to 12. I mean, we had, I think, October we had 15. That was our high water mark since the moratorium started. The moratorium started a year ago, so we've had our lowest amount was 7 in a month. We usually hover about 9 to 10. Like I said, this February we got 12. So those are decent numbers. But I'll be honest with you, in February of 2020, we got 24 foreclosures, short sales in. So it's a big difference. We're offering pretty much operating right now about half of what our usual harvest was every month. So it's definitely making an impact on the cash flow of my business. I mean, I'm not going to cry poverty or anything like that. I mean, I'm doing fine. It's just that there's it's just unfortunate for us as investors that there's less distress sellers. And if you look at what's happening in the market, this is actually causing more of a bubble, or this hot market that we're experiencing throughout most of the country is a direct consequence of the fact that you don't have those houses going up for sale, and you don't have distressed properties that are being sold at cash prices, that are being sold at lower prices, which means that there's less inventory out there. And the less inventory means that sellers there's more buyers and sellers. And of course, the law of economics shows that if there's a limited inventory, then people are going if they want to buy a house, they're going to have to pay more. And so that's driving the prices up. Now, what's interesting for us is we've noticed in the last couple of months now is that the banks are finally catching on to that. And a frustrating thing that we're going through is that we'll get an approval on a short sale. We'll get a verbal approval from the bank, the servicing company. Because if I'm going to stop for a second, and for those of you who don't understand, is that we negotiate with the servicing company, but the servicing company does not own the mortgage. Somewhere, some entity, either it's a bank or a hedge fund or a pension fund, they actually own the mortgage and they have the final say. So what's happening is that we'll work with the negotiator for the servicing company. We'll get it tentatively approved, and they'll send it to the investor, the entity that owns the mortgage, and they'll come back and say, no, we want 5,000 more, we want $10,000 more, because they say, well, it's a hot market, and we probably deserve that much, and then we have to go back and renegotiate. So we've noticed a little bit of a slowdown in the volume of how many houses we're closing because of that, and it's like a domino effect, and it's all goes back to the fact that 80% of the uh, foreclosure houses are not hitting the market. So it's I will say this. I don't know if this is probably the second most challenging period of time that I've ever had in mind. And this is my 19th year in real estate investing. 2006 and in 2000, first part 2007 was probably the most challenging for me, in the sense that this is in Florida. That's where the market just crashed. I mean, everybody thinks the financial crisis hit in 2008. It was happening in real estate and distressed selling in 2006 already. In fact, I started feeling it in the fall of 2005, and we went almost a year without any closings at all. Trust me, that was really, really hard to survive. But we survived it, and we're obviously we're doing much better this time because we're much better prepared and we're much more experienced than we were back then. That was only my really second year, or starting my third year of doing this full time. So I didn't have all the knowledge and experience I have now to make sure that a temporary slowdown is not going to kill my business. But anyway, but this is the second most because this is lasting almost as long now. I mean, if and when they announced it's going to be June 30th, I don't think it's going to. I mean, I am preparing right now as a company that this is the new reality for at least the end of the year. In my experience, in my opinion, I think they're going to keep extending this 2 months, 3 months, or whatever until the end of the year. I don't know what's going to happen with this. You got a Democratic president in office, and they tend to be less aggressive when it comes to letting the market, do what it does. Just to give you an example, this time last year in Florida, Governor DeSantis, he followed what President Trump wanted to be done. Is they canceled, they declared a court or a foreclosure moratorium, but he lifted that in the fall, and I'm a Democrat, and I did not vote for DeSantis. I would not vote for DeSantis, but from a strictly selfish point of view, it helped my business because at least the privately owned banks are foreclosing, and that's enough to keep us going. But if it was if it was a Democratic president, or excuse me, governor, maybe the courts would still be closed. I don't know. So there's pros and cons to each way, to each side. So, but the reality is that we do have the privately held banks, which are only 20% of the market, that are able to foreclose, and that's been enough so far. But it's a challenge, and this is going to continue to be a challenge. So, what I'm going to do as a savvy investor is I'm going to strengthen my referral partners, my referral relationships. I'm getting more active again in Facebook groups, getting the word out that we're able to do short sales for people who find them and don't know what to do with them when they do find them, with wholesalers, other investors. And I'm going to be doing much more marketing nationwide to offer our short sale negotiation services for people in other states. So that's how I'm reacting to the market, and which should be fine. But it's unfortunate that this is the way it's going to be for a while. So I would that's if I'm a short sale investor in anywhere, Florida, wherever, I would really start to work on your referral partnerships. I think that really is the key component of making sure your volume stays up and you keep getting your numbers up. So anyway, that's my take on what's happening with the foreclosure, the federal foreclosure moratorium being extended. So I will see you at a later time. Thanks.